I guess you could say that comedy is like boxing. You know that movie Raging Bull? I really love that movie. At the beginning of Raging Bull, you have that boxer, and the boxer's in the ring. That boxer is getting prepared. He's getting ready. He's getting set to go out and slay his opponent. I really love that opening because for me, that's what comedy is sort of like. It's kind of like boxing in that sense, at least before you're going to go out. The waiting, the hoping, the feeling that you're going to get out there and really tear that audience up, that you're going to make them laugh, that you're going to make them do your will as a comedian and just laugh at everything that you say. And that's the thing that I kind of like about being a stand-up comic, is that to me it's almost kind of like an athlete, almost like a boxer in that sense. Because as a boxer, you know, you're waiting for that moment of anticipation. You see those boxers out there, and they're waiting for their name to get called, and they're heading out to the ring, and they got the spotlight on them, everything. And when you're a comedian, you're also waiting. You know, you're waiting for that MC to finally say that you're up next. It's going to be you on stage, making people laugh. It's the waiting part that really kind of does get you going, but that's part of the whole preparation process. In a sense, it's kind of like the great boxers of old. Because when you're a comedian, you got to come out there and you got to be great. You got to be like Muhammad Ali. Now, Muhammad Ali called himself the greatest, not the latest. Because he went out there, he had no doubts, he had no fears, he had no hesitation. He just went out there and fought his opponents. And he won. And that's what you have to do as a comedian. You have to go out there, make them laugh, and win.
My name's Al. It's nice to be here. The Rosalie Woodson Dance Academy. Trust me, I've been in worse places. This is paradise. I'd like to begin by stretching. Thank you very much. I will now dance Swan Lake, followed by the Nutcracker Suite, followed by the Electric Slide. Anyway, it is nice to be here. It's great. I'm kind of on my own tour. I'm a stand-up comedian, for those of you who don't know. You can tell by my clothing.
I had to learn a lot when I got started. I had to learn kind of how to pace myself as a comic. You know, I would get exhausted because I was working, I was running errands, and then I would come down to the club in Waikiki or wherever I was performing. And I just had to have like a 30 minutes to an hour just for the show where I would just sit down and just, you know, keep myself in shape. The first 3.5 months when I started was pretty grueling because I was performing every week. I probably did, I calculated I did maybe 30 to 50 gigs the first 3.5 months that I did stand up. A gig is every show that I've done and everything. So I did 30 to 50 gigs, and then I took about a month as a breather, and then I got back. The places that I performed.
Tell you what, to hedge his bets, he has no last name. He calls himself Al the Comedian, just in case during any portion of his act you forget. Don't mind these big pauses, it's where the laughter normally goes. Ladies and gentlemen, let's bring our first comic to the stage. Again, there, the microphone is back. Please help me welcome Al the Comedian.
Keep it going for the one and only Andy Pooter. How about a big round of applause for you guys for coming out here? Give yourselves a big round of applause. You could have been at home watching one of these dumb reality shows. You could have been watching The Voice. Instead, you came out to support the comics, so we appreciate it. Thank you very much. And one more big round of applause for your staff here and the owner of the Dragon upstairs. Hank, give it up for them. Alrighty. Yes, I know you see me. Yes, I am Al the comedian. I know you see me, and you don't think comedian, right? I know I am dressed like a comedian, but you have some doubts. Some of you are looking at me and you're going, either he is the newest roadie for Willie Nelson, or he is a very stylish player in a Call of Duty tournament, or I am, of course, the founder of the Big Bang Theory Club, one or the other.
When I started in Waikiki, I must have done 4 or 5 places. You know, the joke that I had was I did bars, I did restaurants, I did bars/restaurants. You know, I did various types of venues, you know. And I loved it. I enjoyed it. I love performing in Waikiki because Waikiki is not like any other place on Oahu. Waikiki is not like any other place in Hawaii. It has the kind of urban feel to it that's reminiscent of so many cities. New York, LA, Chicago. But you don't have the kind of sprawl that LA has. You don't have the kind of congestion that New York does, the kind of density of Manhattan. You don't have that other sense of urban. It was exhausting. It was tiring to perform in Waikiki and perform in general when I started out. I wasn't used to performing as a comic, performing as anything, especially at night. You know, you go out to these bars and you're there until maybe midnight. You get home maybe at 1 or 2 in the morning. But I got used to it, and I really loved performing in Waikiki. It's a great place. I miss it. I do some performing there, but not too much. I really do miss performing there most of the time. What I learned from the very beginning of doing stand-up was when I started out, I got, you know, I would be busy with errands, I'd be busy with work, and I get to the comedy club and I would take like 30 minutes to an hour just to relax and to, you know, get off my feet. And what I learned basically, you know, I would get home and it would be like 2 a.m. in the morning or something like that. What I basically learned was to give myself enough time to rest, enough time to prepare physically. You want to get to a point, I don't want this to sound Zen or New Age or stuff, but you want to get your body kind of centered. You want to make it so that you're mentally and emotionally and physically focused. You know, focus isn't just, you know, intellectual. It's mental, it's emotional, it's physical. It's all of those factors. And as a comic, you want to be focused because when you get on stage, you want to show that not only that you're confident, but that you are ready, that you're prepared. That's very important. I once heard an acting coach say that if you want to be a star, it's very simple. Very simple. Be a star in your own life. If everyone wants to be like you, you're well on your way to becoming a star as an actor. Well, my view as a comedian is that if you want to be a real comedian, then you have to be someone who has a life outside of comedy. If you have a life outside of comedy, then your life in comedy will be great. I think that'll be a guarantee. If your marital life is miserable, if your family life is miserable, if your personal life is miserable, then how can you expect your life in comedy to be any better? It's not going to be. You're going to face nasty audiences, you're going to face hecklers, you're going to face all kinds of obstacles. Better to have a great life than no life at all.
How about a big round of applause for Aaron Hughes for doing this show? And how about a great big round of applause for Groglings? Didn't they have a great set? Fantastic music. I love it. Love these guys. They're awesome. You gotta love a band that talks about burning nightclubs down. I love that shit. That's a pirate band. Love that. I love that song you do about, hey asshole, cut your nuts off. I love that. I gotta try that at Heckler sometime. I love that shit. How you guys doing? You guys doing alright? Oh, great. How come everybody's so far away? I'm trying to think. What, are there cooties on stage? What's going on here? Well, Al, we no problem with you, bro, but get Uku's on stage, so we gotta stay away, yeah? Yeah, it's nice to be here at Hawaiian Brian's. It's wonderful. The great thing about Hawaiian Brian's is that you can always tell if a person is local or from the mainland if they don't know where Hawaiian Brian's is. That's the way to tell. I was at a party recently and somebody was asking me, oh, you got a show? Where is it? I said, Hawaiian Brian's. The guy was like, where? What is that? I was so tempted not to say, oh, it's next to Filipino Freddy's and 2 blocks from Samoan Sammy's. So, very tempted to do that. I didn't do it. This looks like one of the audience members at my first show. This actually it reminds me of some of the comedians that I worked with when I was starting out. Maybe I shouldn't joke too much. I might end up like this in a few years. I was on one comedian's, not the website, but I was online and I saw this comedian, good comedian called Joe Coy. Good guy. But you could buy a Joe Coy shirt. Why the hell do I want a Joe Coy shirt? Is this supposed to make you funnier if you buy the shirt? I don't think so. See, now we've gotten to the point where it's a perfect storm. You got douchebags with merchandise and the internet. It's terrible. You got low IQs and high tech. Let me tell you something. I'm a comedian, I'm not a corporation. I'm a stand-up, not a startup. I'm not a 501c3, but I do like 69. The thing I hate about being a stand-up is always the waiting. You're waiting to go on. You're waiting for the other comic to get off the stage. Get off the stage. Hey, he's got my insignia. What's he doing with my insignia? I'm suing you for copyright. I've got my great new material and I want to go on. You're always waiting. In fact, you know, you could actually do a documentary. I am doing a documentary. But you could do a film called Waiting about stand-up. A lot of stand-ups are waiting.
Thursday night or Wednesday night crowd anywhere, any club on the road, any comedy club USA. That's a great crowd right there. You know, I mean, yeah.
You know, so and that, you know, that's the trick, man. You just keep working. So what I'm going to do is we'll do next week.
I wouldn't, you know, put it. What do you do? Most comics I talk to, they're like, dude, the rooms see like 200 less. And it's packed out. It's this intimate thing, and you know you can touch them, and you just go.
Anything over 300 for some reason is the magic number. But you know, in this room, we keep the quality of the show on.
Right.
You like this room? Like, it doesn't thrill me, but it works.
No idea what that.
You know what I mean?
I like it because you're close. And I love the high stage myself, you know me, I love the high stage. I feel like I've got a barrier so I can almost get away with singing stuff because I've got some barrier there.
I would make it, to make it a comedy movie, have to, I mean, I'd like for something a little more stagey, a little more spotlighty, a little more, you know.
Yeah.
Which reminds me, I didn't put
the lights were kind of dark tonight, but I thought that was on purpose, yeah.
How long have you been doing
lights,
stand-up?
Yeah, no, I dimmed it because what I was looking
7
for
years.
was more, darker.
You have a strange attitude
Blast
for
the
a
lights, then the
comedian.
spill goes out to the audience.
Yeah, because you're supposed to be able to look and see
You know, maybe next
things
week,
that we don't
maybe
see
one more left, which
and
is
interpret
so
them to
fast,
us
you
and
know what I
make
mean?
us
So,
laugh
I'm gonna say
at the
maybe next week,
Monday.
you know,
But
I'll bring my
I
iPod,
touched
play some
you,
intro music,
and you
some
act
quick
like
show.
a
We
leper had
did.
touched you.
So,
Get funny, motherfucker.
We can goof with all of that stuff, you know.
yeah, no, I just, you know, I play a lot.